Welcome along to F2 preseason at Bahrain. Welcome. I'm your commentator, Ryan Searles, for the event. And this should be a fun one to see who will end up taking the preseason victory. We raced in Qatar last week for the first preseason event. Now we got the second preseason event and the one before the season starts. This shall get interesting to see who ends up taking the victory. We have 11 drivers in here for tonight's preseason event. Hello, chat. You guys are quite active. You guys were quite ready for the stream to come on. I got 11 here in the event for tonight. And like I said, yep, preseason for F2. Second one, got this being the last, or second to last one through all tiers. Last one for F2 before the season starts. Yeah, I did just wake up about, like, 20 minutes ago. But, yeah. Good to see you yonder, JTK F1 fan, Titan Iron Wolf, Invade. Got qualifying, though, underway here in just a bit of a moment. And we'll find out what happens for the event. 10 seconds to go. Just want to recap preseason the last 2 days. Tier 3, I was in it, but I did not win it, so woohoo. It was Wavy who won it. Wavy and Egg, both Tier 1 and Tier 2 drivers racing that event. And yesterday it was who was it who won yesterday? JTK who won it. And we're riding on board with Jack Miles, who has a previous F2 title to his name. I didn't really bottle it, I just wasn't fast. It was the first time on the wet on this game, which is interesting because during 2 preseason events, we've seen the wet weather. Saw it once during Tier 3 at Spa last week, and we saw it, or Tier 2 at Spa, and we saw it Tier 3 at Austria just 2 days ago. So it's very nice to see for those of you in chat talking about it, but SLR Metal and Jack Miles are our top 2 drivers right now in this session, but Jack Miles has a little bit of a lockup down there at turn 8. Remember, this handling model, like we've mentioned already, is a bit different, and it is different on these drivers for the F2 cars, so it will be effective for how these guys do with this. Wavy Knife retired from the session along with JTK, and he's going to be having the sprint race pole while things stand unless somebody has been disqualified and sits behind him. But the battle for the top 3 for pole position still remains the same. You got SLR Metal on top. He's full time in this F2 tier. Jack Miles is second. Bourbon Boy, the most recent F2 champion, also in third. The teammate of Jack for tonight's event. Both reserves in that Trident. Yonder says, haven't got the game yet. AI a lot slower. I don't know. I feel like people have talked about this. But either way, it still remains the same out of the final corner. And SLR Metal will take pole position over Jack Miles by 3/10. You got Bourbon behind, then Egg, Kipu's right there, Titan down in 6th. But quite a big field spread so far in this F2 field from tonight's qualifying. And now here are your results from the qualifying session. Blugagi Invade with absolute stinkers of laps. Titan Iron Wolf, P6 for him. Obviously, the grid will be inverted. It's going to be JTK who will be on the sprint race pole. Wavy Knife going to be on the front row. FBL was disqualified from the session in the Virtuosi. FBL, one of the other full-time drivers this season. We've got a lot of full-time drivers this season that we'll be talking about throughout the event in certain seats. The only thing that changed throughout the week is Mythic not partaking full time anymore in his ride. He won the opener during season 18 in Qatar. But we might have a formation lap. F2 is only reverse grid from the sprints. Yes. Invade says he's sliding so much. You're saying it like the snack yonder. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Formation lap. Is it on? Is it on? Is it on? Formation lap is on. Okay, good. Not enjoyable so far, Invade says. Well, it is a new handling model for the F2 completely then, from what I've learned. I'll do some laps in these cars later on, but, yep. Formation lap underway. We'll talk about the drivers, and we'll talk about who's full-time, all that kind of cool stuff. The F2 champions throughout the season. Well, let's take a look at all of them. Oh, nice one. Who is that? Oh, Wavy Knife is spun. And that is Egg. Of course it's Egg. So everybody's starting on the hard tire for the sprint race. Wavy Knife was disqualified from the formation lap. But yeah, here is a list of champions throughout F2 and RPL. Remember, we've had this tier for 18 seasons prior. This is our 19th. It's obviously a shorter season than F1 is every time. Same type of length that tier 2 is. But the interesting thing about this tier is that just last season, at the end of season 18, this tier shut down for a little bit. And we had our last race at the circuit, deciding the Constructors' Championship. And the thing about it that we had at this, well, not only at the circuit, but with the tier, is that for the next season, for the original season 19, we had a total of probably 14 drivers interested in racing. But so far throughout preseason, we've got about more than 14 drivers. We've got probably about a combined 16, 17 drivers who've raced. And I'm sure we'll get more once the season starts because some people don't have the game yet. Some people do, but just aren't racing preseason, which is understandable. This tier's gone quite good, I would say, for the attendance up until now. We had a lot interested, so as long as the people interested say they're racing and race, then it will go just fine. But the champions here, all 12 of them, Mally41, Luke Grange, Matt GW, Z Oxtez, Anorex Flynn, Reese Dainty, BRT Griffiths, Jack Miles, Beatnik, Egg, Bourbon Boy, and Skither. All your F2 champions listed right there. Jack Miles, nice one. So yeah, the champions in this field, we have Egg from season 10, Bourbon Boy from season 11 and 18, and Jack Miles from season 8. But the F2 grid is formed right now, and we're about to get things underway. Give us your final predictions here for the sprint race. 12 laps upon us. And Polo, you're right. Polo's another one who's racing this season. Not racing preseason, though. So we'll see how it goes. All right, the 5 red lights are coming on, and it is time to kick off the last preseason event before we get things kicked off for the real season. It is lights out, and away we go. You can see a lot of movement off the line, either on the left or right side. Drivers ducking out, and it mostly gets single file till you go about the midfield. But Blue Goggy, I think, was looking for a move, and he's down the inside, and now he's going to be fully down the inside on JTK. Someone's had a bit of an off, but Blue Goggy takes the lead of the race, and he had a podium to end off things here in Bahrain the last time. But it's all getting squirrely in the midfield. Jack Miles, then Kipu for 4th and 5th. Then you got side by side now with Wavy Knife and Bourbon Boy. The back of the field, I think FBL fell quite a bit, and that is Wavy Knife around. He was one complaining about the handling model, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about it now. SLR Metal and Eggles, the 2 Red Bull livery drivers, running close quarter to one another, and now they're making moves. Egg down the inside, Egg sliding. I think that was Egg just sliding around almost. And SLR Metal went through. How about that from SLR Metal? Driver who could be looking to win his first RPL race this game. We got a lot of those drivers. JTK for F2 being one of them. Blue Goggy has never won one. Invade has never won one. Kipu, same thing for him. But Blue Goggy already out to a 3/10 lead over JTK, and JTK does have a few reserve starts in the F2 cars, but he's full-time this season, so we're going to find out what JTK is made of in this F2 tier. If of you watching, let me hear your thoughts on JTK. I got one of the JTK fans in chat, but SLR Metal is down the inside, and he's just been cut back by Eggles. Eggles now through. FBL waiting in the wings. It's quite an interesting battle here for 7th place. They're not going to have DRS, but they're racing it out as if they will. And Metal is sending it. Eggles is staying behind, just wiggling and weaving and bobbing, and Titan and FBL are going side by side there. We have a driver with, I believe, no front wing. Is that Kipu? Or is that just a glitch in the distance? No, that's just a glitch in the distance. Wow. But Invade takes back 2nd place. Eggles and Metal are battling it out. This is still cracking racing between the pair of them. FBL and Eggles are still going at it. Metal is finally through. Jack Miles is battling JTK for third place in this race. Now Jack Miles has cleared JTK, but JTK, oh no, JTK, sorry, is battling with Jack Miles. That's Invade in second. Excuse me for messing that one up there. Oh, he said eggless. Ooh, I don't know about that one in chat. Jack back down the inside. Cracking racing here. Jack Miles pinching. Jack Miles not wanting to give an inch, the former F2 champion. And it's going to be a race down into turn 9 and 10. Get yourself slowed down on the brakes. Jack Miles excelling on the outside line. Here comes Kipu. This is quite the cinema for him right now. He's up to 4th place. But Jack Miles is going to have to chase after Invade to take back over 2nd place in this race. Jack Miles has the F2 world record, by the way, at the circuit. Wavy Knife obviously had that spin earlier. He's back 13 seconds behind here. I'm sure he'll just be hoping for a better feature race. But, yep, Invade trying to defend. Jack Miles trying to defend. I keep getting some of the drivers mixed up here based on cars. But, yes, Jack Miles is trying to defend. He's got Kipu, JTK, Bourbon Boy behind, while DRS will be enabled. And Blugaki leads yet another lap here in RPL. I can't believe I'm saying that. He'll lead, and he still leads. And he remains with the fastest lap as well. Now SLR Metal takes it. But Kipu is within DRS and striking distance of Jack Miles. You saw JTK go a bit wide there at turn 1. That's going to allow Bourbon Boy to take advantage. And now both Tridents are inside the top 5. Fair play to them. Quite a great start to their race. While Invade is 1.4 behind Blugaki for this race lead. Just trying to chase after him. I don't know if he can reel him in time here by halfway. And if he does reel him in, maybe Jack Miles might already be there to overtake him, as Jack Miles is 5/10ths back. A little bit more lockups there down at turn 8. Oh, he spilled Eggles, though. Look at it. Eggles. His original name was AMS Egg, RPL Egg. Blugagi, big slide there down at turn 10. And it's really made a hamper on him trying to keep the race lead. You have cars going off at the back. That is Bourbon going off. Down the inside is Jack on Invade. This is going to be an interesting battle. Jack comes back on the inside line. Invade is still pinching. How much room is Invade going to give? Big battle here for 4th place. You got Kipu, Bourbon, JTK, and Metal. But Invade holds on to 2nd place. Kipu's in 4th now as we all come out into the 2nd to last braking zone. Then it's JTK, Bourbon, and Metal. Eggles is caught up. Titan's about to catch up. And Metal is right here pressurizing Bourbon. Having the inside line for the last braking zone and the last corner. Jack Miles is throwing Blugagi because Blugagi is spun from the race lead. Oh no, Blugagi. He was doing so well. And just like last week, the mistakes are going to hamper him once again. But we got a battle for our race lead. Invade has it. Jack Miles wants it. Jack Miles tries to crossover out of the exit of turn 2. And Jack Miles will excel for now. Quite the experience from the 19-time F2 winner taking the race lead. But we got Kipu, who's currently on the podium. Side by side with Metal. Bourbon is side by side with JTK. JTK runs a bit too deep and gets switched back. That is Bourbon through. Wow, what a battle here so far. At the opening start of this race, it seems like whatever track we go to this F2 car seems to be quite crazy racing, and it still is once again. Oh, Kipu is a massive moment there down at turn 10. It would have allowed SLR Metal to take advantage, but it only will due to the DRS, and Wavy Knife has retired on track. Well, Wavy, that was a thing you used to do quite a bit in Season 18. When we get to the real season, please don't do that. I don't want to see any penalties for it, but right now, Kipu is being pressurized by the most recent F2 champion of Bourbon. He's surely not enjoying his time, to say the least. Kipu, because he got overtaken by Metal right there. And we have a battle now on the main straight, racing wheel to wheel. Jack Miles fastest lap, In the background, that's a Virtuosi going off. That's FBL, but right now his teammate is being pressurized not by 1, but by 2. Here comes Bourbon. Here comes Metal. Who's going to be last on the brakes right here? Bourbon on the inside line going to get through, but Kipu will have the traction through 2 to excel, but he has no DRS to spare, while Bourbon and Metal both do. 3 abreast again. Who will be last on the brakes once again? It is Bourbon this time for the second time. He's through on Kipu. He's fully through, but Metal is now challenging Kipu. Egg and JTK are battling for 6th place, but right now, it is so close here for 4th place. Metal getting ahead, and he does finally get the upper edge. Metal is through up into 4th. Kipu right there, back down to 5th, and Egg is right there to pounce. He's got JTK, Gagi, Titan, they're all there. They're all in the mix. Just put a blanket underneath these cars. That's how close they are. But going in the runoff, that is SLR Metal now rejoining this race just ahead of Kipu. But Kipu has Egg for company. Will Egg duck out and make the move? No. Egg commentated with me last week and wants to see what this field is like with the drivers. It's good to kind of see that as a commentator. And now will Egg make a move in the braking zone? No, he's just going to stay behind Kipu, but if Kipu keeps slowing up like this, he's going to cost these guys getting DRS to Metal and Bourbon, the battle for the podium right now. And we're going to find out what that's going to be like. Got a lot of moving around here in the braking zone from drivers. I guess they're trying to pick their line and try to not hit the guy in front of them while they do that, but Jack Miles has set yet another fastest lap of this race. He's going quite fast in that Trident. But someone else going fast in that Trident who's got the pressure is Bourbon. He's got SLR Metal to his inside and passing him on the left-hand side. But will he keep it? Yes, for now he does. Some guys in the background going a bit wide there at the turn 1 braking zone. You got JTK now ducking out from Blue Gagi, who's on the move. Blue Gagi to his outside. Kipu up in front of that was sneaking a peek on Bourbon, but now Blue Gagi with the cutback, trying to get through. JTK almost slammed into the side of him, and JTK will remain in 7th place. This is one of those heavy braking zones. You just got to be careful not to hit the car in front. You can just see a little wiggle wobble from JTK. He made a mistake right there. Invade is keeping quite a close touch to Jack. Only 2.4 though, but still holding on after all this battling. Metal made a mishap there. Bourbon will take advantage. He has a DRS now down to turn 11. And will he be cleared by the braking zone? The answer becomes yes. A lot of lockups there down into the second to last braking zone. JTK, who tried the last to first from so far tonight, right now 7th place in this race. He's in the DRS train, and he's now got Blue Gagi and Titan behind him, picking up DRS. Titan didn't this time, but he may next time. Jack Miles still excelling in that race lead, but right now Metal blasting past, and he's gonna take 3rd place in this race. Metal is up to 3rd, Bourbon back down to 4th, but big lockup and a collision. It's Bourbon and Kipu facing the wrong way. Trouble down at turn 1 allows Egg and JTK to take the pieces that were missing right there. Blue Gagi ducking out, trying to find the braking zone and not hit the back of JTK, but with JTK going a bit wide right there, maybe it would have allowed Gagi to take advantage, but he's just not close enough in the Prema. Prema, quite a classic team in RPL F2. They have a total of 63 F2 wins. I'm going to talk about the all-time teams and their F2 wins. Harlan is 75, Dams is 73, the only teams ahead of them. But it's for Trident's sake. We spoke about a Trident driver earlier on. Oh, that's Metal going very wide, and so does Egg. Spoke about a Trident driver earlier on in the week, and that was go on, pull him down. Oh! Kipu getting all out of shape, and FBL is too. And why did I mention go on, pull him down, or as the drivers call him, Goon, earlier in the week? Oh, Titan and the Trident of Bourbon making contact right there. Down at turn 11. I was talking about the previous Trident winner of Goon because he has an F2 win to his name in Trident. But as for Jack Miles, it's only a preseason race, so it won't count. But Dryden and Campos, I guess you could say, in a big battle for most wins for 8th place on the list. 17 versus 16, and Titan is bumping the back of Bourbon, and synchronized spinning right there. Titan has just sent Bourbon Boy around. I don't know why he's just done that at the last braking zone. Titan, who had great driving last week, not having great driving so far this week, but right now, JTK has slipstreamed past Egg and is through. And I think they got to get luckier to get it down the brakes, because I think Goggy and Kipu almost made contact. Now this is a big battle for P8 on the main straight. Titan, Bourbon, FBL, got JTK and Egg. A little bit of pinching here on the DRS straight. Egg on the inside line, has to back out right there, and he almost gets tagged right there from the back of Blue Goggy. Now he's inside of him. And Egg is through, but sliding, he's having a lot of trouble with the rears. Will we see punctures like we saw last week a lot? That's my question. We got to spin again as Bourbon around. Bourbon is just getting absolutely punished from Titan right there for the position. This is awful. Blue Goggy getting the place on Kipu. Will he hold on with it, though? Kipu ducking out to the left-hand side, trying to go for the overtake, it looks like. But remember, in F2 cars, you got no overtake button. Same set of fuel. So it's just down to DRS and driver skill. Top 8 get points in the sprint, by the way. But right now, the only battle we have on track is between Egg and Goggy. Egg has it. Goggy wants it. Goggy on the attack before DRS might pull out, but he now has DRS and he will pull out. Yep. Down the inside for the braking zone, and he's through. Kipu looking to do the same thing on Egg. Here he comes. Down the inside. And up into 6th momentarily when Egg takes it back. Goggy also has DRS range on JTK, but he just doesn't have the DRS to pick up there. Meanwhile, let's talk about back here. FBL holds on to the last point spot. Titan wants it. Bourbon had it, but Bourbon has been spun out twice. It's quite a scintillating battle as well for 5th place. Still, once again, about to become 4th place when the DRS gets enabled here from Goggy behind JTK. But right now, our podium looks quite interesting. Jack Miles used to being up there. And Vade not up there a whole lot, but looks like he's improved a lot this game. He's better on the track limits from what I've picked up on. SLR Metal, the teammate, has gained quite a bit. 2.8 back, and you can see a Red Bull livery car going off in the background. That is Egg. But as for Metal's sake, I don't think he's ever had an F2 podium here in RPL F2. He's looking for a first race win this season. All the drivers in 2nd to 5th have never won an RPL F2. It's not to say they've never won an RPL tier. JTK is the only one who has. But yeah, quite the field right here running in the spots that they are. Kipu's never won. FBL's never won. Titan's never won a race. We've had 377 prior F2 races ran. And Titan's probably ran on about half of those, I would say. Maybe a bit more. He's ran F1 races as well. He's ran a decent bit of tier 2 races as well to his name. The only battle we're going to see in terms of positions trading on track is Kipu and Egg. And we do have a swap in positions as we go down the main straight. Kipu does take it back. And will he hold it? He's clear right now into turn 2. You can't have any malfunctions or else you're going to be re-overtaken into turn 4. You got Goggy close with JTK. He's in DRS range now, but with the DRS activated from Egg, he has a look around the outside. He'll try the switchback of Dreams, and this would have been beautiful if he could pull it off. Even with the wiggle Kipu had, Egg cannot put it back down his inside. You just see Kipu just so close to below Goggy's DRS right here. Just say usually in the F1 cars they'd be saving a lot of ERS right now in this battle, but the thing is though, is that they're actually saving a lot more on their tires rather than ERS compared to usual with F1 cars. So one thing to pick up on, by the way, with F2 right now for those four or five of you watching, F2 this week is an hour earlier. Why is that? We have, oh, FBL has got a 3-second. That's bound to happen when you go off the track that many times. F2 is an hour earlier this week. Why is that? It is due to F1 qualifying being at 4 Eastern, 9 UK time, and that had put Tier 1 an hour earlier. So with F2 usually having its event anyway, a certain time before Tier 1, it's put it even earlier for F2 because we have things run at the same time. Jack Miles right now has a 7.9 second lead over Invade, and you'd be thinking right now that with the sprint race being underway and 11 laps in that, oh yeah, we'd have a close fight for the lead, but that's not the case at all, and it was just like that last week. But Egg is on the attack, and Egg is through with the slipstream, slingshotting past and up into 6th place. But we've also got Blue Goggy once again in DRS range of JTK. Can he pick off a place here late in this race? Maybe 4th place. Metal is close with Invade, but not close enough for a move. And while we have Kipu and Egg fighting it out, we won't have any moves unless this mistake from Egg allows Kipu to pounce, and he just couldn't because you don't want to go side by side there in the S's. That would have been absolutely treacherizing. Fellas, I had just woken up about 20 minutes before this race started. I'm going to grab another water. But while we watch the action, while I go AFK, we'll stay on board with Egg and Kipu. So as it is Kipu in 6th and now Egg in 7th, but we're on to the final lap of this race, and Jack Miles has a 9-second lead in this event. And whatever it is at the nighttime, whether it's Bahrain, Vegas, Abu Dhabi, Jack Miles seems to conquer it, and he's done it once again, but Metal is now on the back of Invade, Kipu, and Egg trading places in the main straight, but the 2 Red Bull livery cars are going to fight this out for the 2nd place spot on the podium. Right now, Invade has it. Metal wants to take it. Invade is defending for his life. He pinches him to the inside, and now he locks the rears. There is a bit of contact down at turn 4. Metal is through, but don't collide with your teammate, Invade. You want to keep the outside to maybe get a better run right here, but Metal just cuts him off, and he's through. Blue Goggy is still close with JTK for 4th as well. Many mishaps happen in front between the 2 teammates. We could see these guys take a podium, but Egg also holding on from Kipu. But yeah, what a sprint race here in terms of the battles. We've not had many, but we've had your 1 or 2 to keep yourself entertained. It's not like it's been boring with this 11-car field. And just imagine, once we do get the season underway, what it will be like. But Egg has now picked up his first track limit penalty of this race, so that's not good. We'll obviously have that applied when things finish here in just a few moments' time. Invade is still on the back of Metal, and he's going to have a last-ditch effort here in order to get past for the place. But the one out in front is a former F2 champion, and it's the one who has won 19 times prior, and although he's a reserve, he started off with his pace incredible on this F124 game. Jack Miles wins in Bahrain in the sprint race. Metal takes 2nd place, but lets Invade through, Barrichello style, for Invade to have it with much respect between the 2 good friends of teammates. Metal 3rd, Invade 2nd, JTK 4th, Goggy 5th, Egg, I think, was 6th on track. Then it was Kipu, but FBL does remain in the last point spot with Titan and Bourbon Boy, the last ones to take the flag. Bourbon Boy, the last one to finish. We had to try to being the first one to finish. We had to try to being the last one to finish. How about that? Now onto your podium celebrations. Jack Miles on the top step. We've seen this happen 19 times prior. Jack Miles celebrates once again. And lifts the trophy up in the air. He's quite happy with that, to say the least, and I would be too. They spray the champagne, 2 Red Bull livery cars up on there. Here are your final results from the sprint. 2 points from medal if this was a real event. 4 qualifying in pole. I played a medal. Much respect between 2 teammates letting each other go there on the last lap. How about that? No one made a pit stop. One driver we lost, it was Wavy Knife, and he had the slowest lap time of them all. No surprise with how his car was handling. Egg didn't really have the fastest of lap times, but he held on for 7th place, keeping consistent race pace. Jack Miles set the fastest lap. Then you had SLR Metal, who was going quite quick, to say the least. Now on to the feature here. Wish preseason was actually counted, Invade says. Yeah, I get that. I get it, but I think you'll have a lot of opportunities in the real season, considering how much you're probably going to be reserving to take good results. I've not heard a lot from Vapor.js. Skither, maybe I've heard a bit from him, but I don't know if he's going to be racing F2. I don't know. He's not too happy with the handling model from the original one, but the new handling model's here, so no one really has anything to complain about. So there's that. We'll have another formation lap, by the way. Just drive gooder, says Jack Miles. That's not a word. What? What? What's my computer doing? What? What are we doing? I don't want history. What is this doing? Why is this being keyboard sensitive? What the hell? Okay. I'm gonna search it up on my phone because it's stuck on zoom in. I would restart it, but I need to see the Twitch chat, folks, so. Yeah. First F2 podium since season 17 Japan. That would be correct. What? I can't even type. It won't let me type. Okay. Alright, well, this is bullshit. Let's take a look at the, tire strategies. Got Egg, Invade, Goggy, Wavy, JTK on softs, everybody else on hards here. Trying to figure out how to freaking change it with the, computer here. I don't want to stay on the zoom in setting. This is not fun. But yeah, let's talk about the drivers once again. SLR Metal in a F2 points race has never had a podium. Jack Miles has 19 race victories, as we spoke about, and has an F2 championship. Bourbon Boy has 2 F2 championships, and I believe 23 F2 wins to his name. Egg doesn't have double digits on F2 wins, but has an F2 title. Kipu has an F2 podium, and that's it. Titan has 7 F2 podiums, but never won a race in F2. Invade has an F2 podium, and that's it. Goggy has 4 podiums in RPL, 2 of them coming in F2. Wavy Knife is starting near him, and I don't like that. But I think they figured out whatever happened yesterday. Wavy has an F2 win to his name, and does have a podium on last game cycle when he returned to things. JTK is only a few starts, and I believe FBL may have a podium finish prior in RPL. But a driver who's been here since the very start of the first F2 season FBL. Give us your predictions on the start, folks, by the way. Just want to say, F1 preseason later on today in Texas. We should be getting a okay-sized grid for that. We'll find out what happens. And then we have the real season next week, by the way, for those of you interested in keeping up to date. RPL Formula 1's or Twitch. Stay up to date on it. FPL is very much pointed sideways. Here come the 5 red lights for the feature race. We're counting it down, and we're going. It is underway. Metal looked like he got a little bit of wheel spin. He's going to have Jack Miles alongside him. They're all jockeying for position. How about Egg splitting it 3 wide right in the middle right here? Will they go that way down to turn 1? Oh, late on the brakes was the Red Bull livery of Invade. He's going to try to go 3 wide here, and he will remain 3 wide. Blue Goggy had to back out of that one. Bourbon Boy now going to be side by side, and it's a drag race down to turn 4 while the battle for the lead still goes on. Egg around the outside, last on the brakes, a little bit of a lunge. Metal and him almost made contact, and it is Egg excelling ahead into the lead of the race, and it's Blue Goggy getting turned around. Blue Goggy is into the wall, and he's definitely got damage. That is unfortunate. I don't know who turned him. There was somebody who made contact with him, but Jack Miles down the inside. Is he going to pull this off? He's going to be side by side with Metal, the winner of the sprint race. Jack Metal, the podium sitter from the sprint race. Oh, way too late on the brakes. Invade, I don't think he meant to do that, but he tried not hitting Jack, and Jack gets pinched. Jack makes contact. Jack banging him. That's Blue Goggy off in the background. But Jack around the outside, trying to get back through. You got Wavy Knife in the background battling Bourbon Boy. Kippu holds on JTK. Titan hanging on FBL. Remember, top 10 do get points in the feature. But Wavy Knife is down the inside. He's having quite a better start to this feature race, must I say. Let's see who gained spots. We didn't see that last time. Wavy gained 4. Invade gained 4. Egg gained 3. Yeah, so I was right. Titan hanging on FBL. Blue Goggy, unfortunate end to his race so far. He might be able to pit from hards. I don't know. Or pit onto hards. Maybe. We got movement. It's Invade and Metal for second place in this race. Jack Miles hanging on in the background. We got FBL on the move here, right in the back of Titan. And these are 2 drivers who would be considered underdogs for this upcoming F2 season, Titan and FBL. Hopefully they can get onto the podium at least once, maybe win a race if the circumstances are in their favor. Blue Goggy is in. Oh, JTK and Kippu. JTK through. And that is a yellow flag. That is FBL around. Kippu's been overtaken by JTK again. Well, that is unfortunate. And that is Bourbon going off the track. Jack is trying to get 3rd place on track. And he's going to dive it down the inside. Maybe make Metal open up the door right there. That door gets shut, though, by the time we go up the hill. And Invade is pressurizing Egg for this race lead. Both on soft tires, obviously. Having a good start with those compounds. And Kippu's got Bourbon. But JTK is there to pounce now for our race lead while Egg sets the... sorry, Invade sets the fastest lap, but DR's been able to invade down the inside on Egg and through. Oh, that is Jack, I believe, sending Metal into a spin right there. Metal saves it and keeps going. But we still got a battle going on for our race lead. Egg takes it back. Invade on around the outside, though, will try to prevail. He's going to have Egg pinching him. And now we're going to try and go side by side of the S section, but it just doesn't work. We're not going to do that. It's probably a smarter thing to do. Where's my key button? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to fix something here on my computer while I commentate. But JTK on Kippu still. Luke Hines says a Titan podium. I would love to see that. I want to see a Titan race win. JTK and Kippu, there's a mistake there down at turn 10. And it caused somebody to go wide. I think that was Kippu. I think Metal was going wide too. Metal obviously got half spun, but JTK down the inside through on Kippu. Honestly think it's fun that in preseason you get a chance to be a little silly and have fun without worrying too much. I agree. You can't be too silly, though. You still have to take it serious for the most part. But, yeah, agreed with that. Bourbon was, I think, having a bit of a peak right there, but couldn't pull it off. Still, though, close for this race lead with Egg and Invade. Where's my key button? Which one's the key button? Where does it say key? I don't see key. Where's key? Here comes Egg on Invade now for the race lead. And Egg is now in P1 still. Wavy and Metal still duking it out. We got Metal on the inside. We got the race lead up for stake. Hold on. Invade back down the inside. Invade is getting very risky, and he's still going to send it. Look at the confidence there from him trying to go on. Egg right here still going side by side to the S's. That was so tight. And Wavy, by the way, P4 in this event. Right now holding on to Metal. It always seems like Wavy, every one of 6 races, seems to have a good event. Whatever it may be, but so far this game it seems like it's been a lot more frequent. Right now though, as I say that, he makes a little bit of a mistake, and now Metal overtakes him. JTK looking to go up the outside, and oh, that's contact! Neck and neck for a race lead. Invade has it now. Egg wants it back, and it is Invade ahead into the braking zone. Jack Miles is there for company, and actually Jack Miles has pulled off the overtake, and will he be able to get Invade right here? He just taps the back of him. I don't think he can get him. He cannot. I gotta play this very carefully. While the battle in the midfield continues, we got JTK on the inside on Kipu now. JTK making the move, getting through. But yeah, Invade holds onto the race lead. Jack Miles definitely wants it. And it's definitely had a blistering first 4 laps, to say the least. He'll go down the inside and get through. And Jack Miles is through. Egg is through. Back down here for 4th. Meanwhile, this is getting hectic, to say the least. Invade is still close to Egg, but JTK and Wavy battling it out. It's now 2x2 here. Now they get just side by side. Oh, now they're 2x2 again. Here's Wavy and JTK. Here's Kipu and Bourbon. It's just crazy stuff. And Kipu couldn't go down the inside. Maybe he could. Yes, he could. Late lunch through on Wavy. Oh, man. Oh, bit of a slide there in the lockup. But after this event, maybe we get our F2 predictions for this new season. I don't know. We should maybe do that. Still got side-by-side action here. Wavy is up and ahead. What the hell? I clicked Windows key and escape. Press the Windows logo key and escape. I did. What the hell? Okay. Alright, well, I can't fix this. I don't know why. Trying to fix a problem while commentating, that's never fun. Oh, here we go. First pit stops. Egg and Wavy are in. No surprise there because they were on the soft tires. Lots of lockups there at turn 1. Oh! Whoa. Bourbon and Titan making contact there. Metal and JTK now side by side. JTK still ahead. And still remains ahead. Egg and Wavy. Wavy retires. Ooh, why did he do that? He's having a decent race. Egg comes out of the pits, though. There is no zoom key in the bottom right corner. What is this talking about? Trying to find the zoom key in the bottom right corner. There's no zoom key in the bottom right corner. Where is the zoom key? Oh, it put him on 70% tires. Oh, that's why Wavy retired. That makes sense. Well, he started on the softs, right? So he would have gone the hards. Why'd he go to the softs then? Again. Weird. More pit stops. Invade and JTK are in. Why is it stuck on zoom in? I'm trying to figure that out myself for you guys. Before I can not have that be a thing, so we can go over F2 predictions in a moment. And that I can see chat competently, of course. Yeah. Where is the button? Trying to right click on it, see if that does anything. Nope. It doesn't. Had Invade and JTK in, by the way, for hard tires. They're gonna come out behind Egg. So Egg gets the undercut. These guys will still have to warm up their tires. Remember, it is F2, so that is why. How do I exit the zoom room? Swipe up or double tap on the screen so the exit, sign out, and settings button appear. What? I'm losing brain cells. That doesn't do anything. That does not do anything. Okay. Still 6 guys you have to pit, by the way. What is this doing? This computer, by the way. Thought I clicked off of it already, but I guess I didn't. Will our race leader come in anytime soon? Not yet. I think they're gonna stay out and extend a little bit, the top 3. Everyone on softs is pitted though, so there's that. You just get off the zoom button. Like there's actually no zoom out button in the bottom right. All right. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. This computer is frustrating me. Still have JTK and Invade battling, by the way, for 8th. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that. I have an idea. Restart the computer. I'll do that. I'm not going to be able to view Twitch chat for a little bit, though. So my apologies. Alright, so will any of those guys pit in the upcoming moments? Don't think so. I think we're going to extend about maybe 2 or 3 more laps at the very most. But we got Invade and JTK remaining close for 8th place. JTK trying to win out on taking 8th place back. But remember, there's still guys you have to pit, so maybe these guys will take advantage on guys like FBL, Titan, maybe Bourbon. But JTK gets ahead. Oh yeah, I did not mention this. I'll mention this in a little bit about Titan. That's touching down the DRS straight into turn 4. It's not good. Invade is through. JTK back down. It's inside. And JTK back ahead for now, but they're neck and neck. And they're still going to go side by side of the S's. This is going to end in disaster if they remain this way. JTK on the inside now for turn 8. Invade remaining wheel to wheel. It's just scintillating stuff that they're remaining this way. But JTK does regain the place. Invade, I don't think, wants to give it up. And he's going to have the inside line for here. Whoa! This is so tight. Invade is now back down to 9th. But I was just going to say about Titan, as we were going to see pit stops probably soon here. I just wanted to say he is racing with, call it an injury maybe? He's not going to be able to commentate later today in Tier 1. Because... I think with either food or whatever it was, or something like that. Something with, area of his mouth that he may have burnt, or just didn't, feel well. He knows the term better than I do. I'll have to look through the message, so, of course, that is what Titan is dealing with during today's race, but he and FBL have gone on to a pair of softs. They'll be overtaken by Egg, but I think the question mark now becomes the two behind of JTK and Invade, who are still battling it out, and I think they are both ahead. They are. Now side by side down the main straight. JTK having the outside, Invade having the inside, and he's around. Oh, he lost the rear, and that is not good. Kipu, by the way, was just remaining within striking distance of Bourbon, but Kipu has had an off. That is down at turn 8, like I said before. There's a lot of mistakes there. Just want to remind people as well, we've got in the self-promo chat on the RPL server, a few iRacing events going on. 24-hour Le Mans. We got our US drivers, most notably Cookie and Skither, and then our UK drivers in one of Josh, George, and Luke. So that's nice to see. Blue Guggy is in for a pair of soft compound tires. Will Jack Miles pit this time? Yes, he will. 10 out of 16, our race leader is in, but he cannot speed into this pit lane. He's got to get it woed down, and he does. Metal is in, but I think this is going to be a speeding penalty, and it surely is. Yeah, no way he was making that one. Kipu was struggling with the tires, and let's find out, can he get it stopped below 37 miles per hour? Barely. Just barely from the Virtuosi. Egg is going to come out here. Maybe ahead of Jack Miles in this race. This is going to be a very tight race. They were battling for the lead prior. But here's Egg on the main straight now. Jack Miles starting to exit the pit lane. Here he comes. Remember, he will have time to get these tires warmed up. And I think he'll lose a little bit of time here, but he is ahead of Egg. That's the important and crucial thing. Kipu coming out. Got other drivers who come out. Metal behind Egg. Titan has beat Kipu out. Same with FBL. Bourbon, the only one yet to pit, though. Kipu says in the driver's chat, fucking terrible car. Well, that's not good. Got FBL and Titan, though. 7th place in this race. A battle still between them. And I think Bourbon will probably join him. I think Bourbon's just getting used to this F2 car, and he's not really had the most pleasant of times. But him staying out, I guess this is hope for a safety car. Just hope to make the most of the soft tires. He's actually going quite well in these hards still, to say the least, though, and extending. I think where he's going to come out, I think he'll be around the Invade and Titan area. I think he'll just slot in right around there. I don't know. I don't know how long these pit stops are in F2 with this format and everything, but here comes Bourbon in. The pit lane, Season 18 F2 champion. He won this race, by the way, the last time at Bahrain. Season 18. He's obviously going to go for a set of soft tires, but it's just such a slow run to the pit stop here. Jack Miles will take the race lead back. But where will Bourbon Boy come out? Jack Miles is through. Egg is going to go through. I think Metal and GTK will, but that's going to be the question mark. Where does Bourbon slot in here? Okay, so he's going to be behind JTK. But Invade is now the question mark. We have FBL and Titan down the main straight racing it out. FBL ahead of Titan. And Bourbon does slide in just ahead of Invade. And Invade maybe caught out by him coming out of the pit lane the way he did and by his colder tires. FBL is within striking distance of Titan. And although Egg has a penalty, or sorry, Metal has a penalty, we could be seeing Egg keep second place on track and JTK in third place on the podium when the penalties do get applied. Let's check something here, by the way. Who is all in parties during this race? Well, alright, we figured that one out. Metal and Edel. Metal and Edel. Metal and Egg. Trade spots right there into turn 11 and 12. Excuse me right there. That is, well, I guess an overtired Ryan. That is awful. Metal and Edel. Oh my god. What the hell? Jack Miles sets the fastest lap, and he's had quite the commanding drive thus far. I think he's going to come home to another victory if he just remains in this race lead and just keeps it mistake-free. You see as well, FBL flirting with Invade, and now he's going down the inside. He had a look right there, but couldn't make the move. See how vulnerable Invade is, having FBL and Titan behind him have DRS. But now, FBL trying to leapfrog up to 6th place, and he will do just that. Invade has really fallen off here on the strategy he was on. He started on the softs, and it's really not gone his way, to say the least, I must add. To mention what I was mentioning earlier about Titan Iron Wolf and why he is racing with what I call an injury. I mean, I'll call it a mishap. I don't know if you could really call it an injury, but drivers have their moments where they will still stick it out and race. This is one of them. I don't think you want to not race due to something as small as that. But for something like commentating, though, it will affect a driver when you have what Titan has. Let me just read it, therefore I make sure it's the right thing and it's not mistaken for the wrong thing. He was talking about on the right side of his mouth, a sore or bruise, and it feeling like it's in pain. So that's what the correct terminology is, but as Titan would say for his terminology of what he just encountered is a driver in the penalty box. Bourbon is within DRS to JTK, and this is right now these guys trying to take Metal on the penalties, but the thing with Metal is that he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty to add to that. That's 13 seconds of penalties. I thought he just had a track limit, but yeah, surely this is the fight. JTK and Bourbon now for the podium. Bourbon around the outside, the long way around is through right now, and he clears JTK for 4th place. Oh, JTK had to look back at the braking zone, almost hit him. That could have ended in tears between the pair of them. I am now just about to get the Twitch chat pulled back up. Give me about 5 minutes, everybody. Oh, we out of the party. Oh, no. That's not good. I am back, though. In a party. Oh, man. Jack Miles starts the penultimate lap of this race. We've got Titan in striking distance of Invade right now. Not in DRS. until we see it activated. And he just barely did get it. Invade was not in DRS of FPL, but he did pick it up. Titan and Metal, by the way, the only drivers to have track limit penalties. Track limit penalties around Bahrain is a very big rarity from the field, as we expect. But yeah, top 10 do get points, so everyone who will finish this race will be in the points for the event. But right now we're looking at a double trident podium this time. Let's run on board with Jack Miles here for last sector. Let's see what he's doing. That has got him so far in front of this field, and it will end up being a 10-second gap by the end of it from the looks of things. Even though a lockup, Jack Miles is still put on quite the clinic as he reaches the final lap of this race. Bourbon has clawed in Egg here for what's going to be second place, but his third place on track. And as he's reeled him in, he might be able to make the overtake with DRS applied on the main straight. Bourbon has it. Egg holds on to the place, but for how much longer? Bourbon with a lot of momentum. Here he comes. He's going to go through. But locks up blue cocky lap, but spins right in front of these guys. Bourbon holds on and takes over third place on track, but will be second place when the penalties do get added. Will Egg be able to claim this back into turn 4? He's got a lot of momentum. Gaining inside. You know he's going to go for it. He's a racing driver, but now Bourbon switches back. What a switch back there from Bourbon to take over this place. How about that? I don't think it will be over, but Blue Goggy gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Only took Jack about 2 weeks to figure out this car, by the way. Just want to note that right now. So, yep, Titan still close to invade. Egg within striking distance of Bourbon, but I think those hard tires are really giving up. They're on 10-lap old hard tires. Jack Miles, the reserve F2 driver for this season, and the former F2 champion and former 19-time winner, will claim victory here in the feature race at Bahrain. Jack Miles wins in the desert. And Metal spins across the line in quite fashion as the penalties get applied. Bourbon Boy makes it a Trident 1-2. Egg claims third, then JTK. And we got a race here to see who will take these places. Titan slams the wall right there. But, or maybe that was Blue Gaki. But there were a few of them who got Metal at the end. FBL ended up in the top 5. Driver of the day from the game goes to JTK. I would say the driver all around this whole weekend was Jack Miles. What great stuff from Jack. We're going to see our podium celebrations kick underway, and Jack Miles does it once again. It's a Trident 1-2 from the Welshman, taking victory. Lifts the trophy up in the air, says, "Woohoo, I won this race. I'm so happy." It's only a preseason race, though, so here they go, spraying the champagne. Trident successful once again. Here are your overall points from the weekend. We'll see what this would have been like if it was counted as a real race. Bahrain will be the first race for the other tiers, but I think it's going to be Spain the first race for F2. You can see the points. Wavy Knife, the only one to be pointless throughout this event. Yeah, Jack, Bourbon, JTK, Egg, and Vader are top 5 point scorers. Remember, it was Metal who took pole. Here are your final results from the feature race. It was Jack, then Bourbon, Egg, JTK, FBL, Invade, then Metal in 7th, Kipu, Titan, and Blue Goggy running out our top 10. Just a reminder, later on today is going to be the F1 preseason event in Texas. But I want to talk to somebody first about their victory. Jack Miles, we're still streaming. Can we get a word from you after your scintillating victory?
Mate, I'm just having gravy. Don't know around about.
Well,
I don't know,
you
mate.
had quite the commanding driver in both races. How does it feel for preseason?
I don't know. Just the handling model's just far better now. Suits me. Wasn't really hard.
I will say, you mentioned with this F2 tier coming back that you didn't really have many plans to do it, but you reserved in both preseason events, and you like the handling model, like you've just said. Do you plan to come back maybe for a full-time drive or maybe anything like that? What's the plans?
If I can get a seat, then yeah, I will. I actually really like it. I'm really enjoying F2.
All right, so 19 times an F2 winner you are. This is going to be my second to last question for you. What do you think you could end up with if you do get full-time or even just a reserve on this grid? What are the expectations in terms of how many wins you're expecting then at that point?
For the whole game cycle?
The season game cycle, both work, yeah. Both work.
I don't know who else is racing. If Cypher's racing, probably I'll expect to win half of them. If he's not, then I'd want to win about 75% of them.
Got Griffiths on the grid as well. Minico won last week.
Oh yeah, Minico. Yeah, I think I'd be happy winning half, maybe 40% of them.
And even if you do win about half, you'll go up to second place in the all-time win list, just behind your idol Luke Grange.
I wouldn't call him an idol. I would not call him an idol.
Yeah, I think he is.
No, I don't know about that.
Who's your idol then?
Myself.
Haunted.
My idol is myself in 10 races.
Love it, love it. Well, last question. This field, I mean, you stomped the competition. You like the handling model, like you said. I mean, we were going to repeat that, but what do you think of this field that we've got based on the drivers you've seen thus far ahead of round 1 next week?
Metal surprised me. I didn't think he was that fast, but clearly he is. He being about 3.5 tenths in quali. I think he's pretty good. If he keeps himself clean, he'll be good competition. Minico's good. Tadpole's good. Invade's not bad, but I think if he turns traction off, he'll be good.
Agreed.
Because I was flying away from him in the traction zone, so I think he just needs to turn his traction off.
And he's still quite fast with the traction he's got too.
Yeah, to be fair to him. So that's my point though. Because if he's that fast with traction on, then turns it off, then you know.
Once he learns it, yeah, exactly.
I can't really think of anyone else. George isn't actually that bad.
Polo God, he'll get the.
I haven't seen him in this game, but he's
few days.
He's usually good enough too. George was decent in
Qatar.
The
5-hour free trial, and he did a lot of F2 at the end of last game in time trial. He's prepared himself quite well for this, to say the least, from what I've heard.
Okay. Yeah, he's yeah. I think the top 8 at least, maybe top 10 will be quite competitive. I think when George gets enough practice, then he can fight for podiums.
I agree. I think George can even win a race. I think we have a lot of drivers, even in the sprint races, though, if we have the right grid, the right track. I think this track is a lot easier to overtake at than others. If we have the right grid, we can get some guys on podium or even get a win we wouldn't expect. You wouldn't remember this, Jack, but I've mentioned it before. Titan was leading half the sprint race in Spain back in season 17, only to come up and lose it in 3rd place. But even that's with the track change at Spain, and you know, we have some overtaking spots there, but at a track like Spain, maybe we get some guys who don't normally win a race, though, to make a point. Like you were saying, George getting a few podiums. I could see some guys winning in the sprint races who normally wouldn't. Maybe an FBL, maybe
that's a good
maybe
thing about F2 sprint races. It's equal and it's reversed from quali, so
I want Leon Miner
if they keep their nose clean, they
give
them a chance to win.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is it. F1 Texas preseason later on this evening. Make sure you tune in for that. But we're gonna sign off, and we'll see you then.